Hey, this is Gene Bleeker, and welcome to Genius Thoughts. I'm your eyes, ears, and voice in real estate, business, and the community. And I'm here with my wonderful friend, Linda Haim. Linda, thanks for being on the program today.
Thank you for inviting me.
You are so darn welcome. So I hear you're not alone. I hear you've got your dog with you, sitting
Correct.
right near you, right?
Right. Laying down.
So if the dog doesn't like anything that I'm saying, please tell the dog not to bark at me.
Okay.
But if he does, I totally understand because I got my dogs right near me as well. So maybe they can say hello later if that's
Okay.
okay.
They can have their own
Um,
conversation.
yeah, exactly. We'll just all bark all down the corners and life would be wonderful. So I'm glad you're on the program. You're a great real estate agent. You've been a really great real estate agent for a long time. But I know we want to talk about probate because I think that's something that you really specialize in. And I want to hear more about that. But I want to talk to you about yourself and what got you into real estate. That's my question of the day. I hope it's not a tough question.
No, it's not tough at all. I actually really wanted to do real estate a long time ago when my children were younger, but I was working in social services. I was a
Oh,
social worker. I worked with many different populations in Los Angeles. And then I just got to the point where I just didn't want to do that anymore. So I went into real estate, and I've been doing real estate for almost 20 years.
awesome. So who was the one who talked you into getting into real estate? What was that light that came to you and said, Linda, real estate is your thing for you?
Well, I actually started with sales. I got out of real estate, out of social work, and I started working for ADT and some other sales. I just got away from the social services, and then little by little, I said, I might as well get a license and do real estate.
Right? And then you said, game on, game
Exactly.
on. And you've been doing it successfully for 20 years.
Correct.
And you're listing here, there, and everywhere. I mean, you were just telling me that you just took a new listing in Agora. Good for you. Cheers.
Correct.
I mean, you're a hardworking woman and you do
Thank
business
you.
everywhere. You are the Southern California queen. So,
Thank
you
you.
know, your biggest strength, and you have quite a few, probate's one of them. But what would you consider some of your other bigger strengths in real estate?
Well, people have asked me how different it is social work and real estate, but I tell them it's not because through that you've learned listening skills. You need to listen to your clients. You need to listen to your buyers and your sellers, what they want to do, learning to negotiate. All these different skills that can be acquired through social work, that can be acquired in real estate or any other sales. So that is really what I brought to the table is that what I've had in the past.
Got it. Got it. So probate's kind of like your thing. It's kind of like your talking point, and you do a really good job of it because not everybody in real estate is well versed in probate. Do you want to kind of give your thoughts on probate for our viewers today on what they need to know?
Well, I'll tell you why I got into it. When I first got my license, I didn't want to be just another realtor. I wanted
Right.
to have a niche. And I started thinking, well, I have the real estate and I'm used to working with families and doing cases and every case being a little different. And that's what I really like about probate because everyone is a little different. And most of them, need a lot of hand holding. It's the first time that they have lost a loved one, first time they're going through the probate process. So it's a lot of hand holding, and not all realtors can do that.
No, no. But I like that. I like that. I guess that's with your social media background where it really kind of comes in hand because you were really good at doing that, right? Correct?
Thank you.
Well, you're so welcome. And like again, I am so happy to get you on this program. I've been trying to get you on for months, and I'm so blessed to get you on today. So let's hear a little bit more about probate and what our viewers need to know about it.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is talk basically when someone first loses a loved one.
Okay, so time out for just 1 second. I asked you to bring notes because there's a lot to hear about probate. So if you don't mind reading some of your notes to make you feel more comfortable, I'm totally game with that, if that's okay.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Okay.
So losing a loved one is never easy, and managing their estate is very overwhelming, especially when there's real estate involved. So, as a probate certified probate specialist in real estate, I help families and attorneys navigate the system. There's a lot that happens, and anyone has to go through probate if their estate exceeds $166,250, unless there is a living trust. So if there's nothing, no living trust, no will, then everybody has to go through the probate process, which is long, lengthy, and expensive. It's at least 18 months to several years.
It's got
And
to be tiring as well, right?
excuse me?
It's got to be mentally tiring as
Oh,
well.
yes, and back and forth to court, back and forth to court. A lot of times you have to go to downtown LA. So, and one of the things you have to consider with is the attorney fees, the filing fees, the court fees, all that's involved. Now, one of the things where a person does not have to go through probate is when the property is held in a trust.
Okay.
That's one thing. Also, if the assets name the beneficiary, such as in a life insurance or retirement account. And also if there's a joint tenancy or community property with the right of survivorship. And then, like I said, the costs are very, very expensive. And there's various processes you have to go through, a person to go through. You have to file a petition with the court. The executor or administrator needs to be selected. Then have to notify heirs and beneficiaries and creditors according to the code. The executor or administrator has to inventory and appraise all assets, catalog them, pay debts, pay taxes, pay court fees, request court approval to sell. So the court has to give the executor or administrator court approval. Now, there's a limited and then there's unlimited. That's limited means that the court has to approve the sale. Unlimited means the executor can then make the decision. And then there
Can
at
I
the
ask
end,
you a question if that's
sure,
okay?
go ahead.
So when do you start talking to your clients about probate? Do you do that when they're young, middle-aged, getting up there in age? When do you usually have this conversation with them?
Well, I do get leads of people who are going through probate that are filed with the court. So they have already gone to that point where they're already in the court process. But if I do some kind of seminar or something like this, I speak to people that are at every limit. They could be young, they could be old, they could have had gone through the process. So that's more general. But when I do call people who already have a case number with the probate, so they've already gone that far already.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Thank you for answering that question.
You're welcome.
Oh,
In addition, some people think that they could do it themselves and they go improper and
what's that
start
called?
improper when you
Okay.
do your case yourself, like if you go to your
Got
whatever,
it.
or accidents, whatever. So they can do it as far as filing, but when it gets further in, it's way out of their league. They really need
Right.
to get an
Well,
attorney.
I would never recommend myself doing anything like that. Right? You want to talk about a headache upon headache? I don't think there will be enough Tylenol, Advil, Excedrin, or anything else for my head to put me through that pain.
Plus, when you go in front of the judge, the judge wants you to be prepared and know what you're talking about. I mean, I've gone to court because, well, that's another side issue, but when it gets to a certain point, there could be overbidding and other people come in and try to overbid. So that's another expertise I have when I go to court.
So can you go and define what overbidding means?
Okay, so let's say there is a trust and that they don't have a trust, they go to court and the judge has to decide. So they get an appraiser and they say, okay, that the property is worth such and such, say 500,000. Okay, they go to court and then there's contractors or investors, there's various people, so they're all overbidding. If they don't show up, then you could buy it, then person can buy it for whatever it is. But generally speaking, they find out, and all these people that are flippers, contractors, they're overbidding, and so it goes way over what the person wanted to pay, the
Hmm,
one person wanted to purchase it.
gotcha. Gotcha. Keep continuing. I love this. This is great information.
Okay, and so then after it goes through all the court approval and distributing of the state, then the executive or administrator has to file a final accounting with the court. And they have to put down everything that was spent, everything they received, all the bank accounts. After that's all and done, then the state is closed. But when it goes through probate, you're looking at years of in and out of court, in and out of documents, so that's why it's always best to have a living trust. So
Well, that's because you got to put so much time and effort yourself to help these people with this to make sure everything is crystal clear, correct?
correct, but I don't really get paid just like a realtor until they actually close escrow. So I don't get paid for anything, but also sometimes I'll use an example. There was an older woman and she didn't take care of the property. I do have crews of people I can recommend, plumbers, electricians, handyman, locksmith, all these different things, so they can get their house ready to be sold.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you got your whole team in place.
Right. And so I
Gotcha.
don't get paid for any of the services, only when I sell the house, but I do help as much as I can.
I love that. Well, I mean, it's just kind of like anything else. You got to perform a duty, you got to do a good service before you get paid. I totally understand that. That makes all the sense in the world.
Okay.
Okay. So any other thoughts that you wanted to share?
Let's see.
I'm sure there's a lot more.
I can go over some of the challenges. So the challenges of
Oh my
probate.
God, I would love that.
Okay, so one of the, or a few of the selling a probate property in California can come with complications such as court delays. You have a court date, you go to court, then there's a continuance, or the judge is sick. So then you have to go back to court again. Disagreements among the heirs and which one wants to sell, one doesn't want to sell, one wants to live there. So there's a lot of other challenges and also deferred maintenance and code violations. Sometimes there's tenants there that need to be told to leave. Sometimes they don't
Actually.
want to be told to leave.
Hmm.
And then sometimes you have a buyer and the buyer backs out at the last minute. So there's many challenges through the whole process. And one of the major things, the personal representative, which is either executive or administrator, they have to be trustworthy. It's very important for them to act in the best interest of the state and the beneficiaries and also be very organized. They have to organize and be detailed, organized about all the various legal and financial tasks and have
Right.
receipts for everything because they will be asked and they have to produce it for the court.
Well, I think this is one of the reasons why you were selected into the exclusive academy because of your dedication to your business, your clients, the consumer, and the community. I mean, you've done a phenomenal job, and you were probably one of our very first members in our organization because I saw your true talent and I said, this is a lady that I want into my organization. So I'm so glad that you accepted my invitation into the family. But I think this is, well, you're so welcome. But I think this is what people are looking for in selecting somebody because there could be a slew of people, but there's only a very small handful of people that can actually do what you do. And I'm saying that with an open heart because I think you're an extraordinary person.
Well, thank you. And there's many realtors who think they know what they're doing and they don't, or they just do it. And I had personal experience with that to do before I was a realtor, so I know. And some will say, just walk away, don't do it, you're going to lose money, which none of it's true, but they just don't know how the process works.
Okay. So are there any other challenges that you wanted to share with us? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's okay. Just, well, the challenges is finding a good probate attorney. That's really important. It's not going to work very well if someone wants to do it in prefer. And to work with someone like me, who is a probate certified real estate agent.
Okay. So final thoughts. Final thoughts with this. Um, Can you go over again why you think somebody should be selecting you to work with them for their probate? I just want to make sure that every dot is is pinned, every T is crossed.
Okay. Well, I consider myself organized and detailed, and I'm always available to my clients. They can call me weekends, they can call me evenings, and I know it's a very difficult process. So a person that's going through this is not just going through the motions of losing a loved one, then they're dealing with the state. Sometimes they live out of state, out of the country. They have to fly in here, they have to stop their family, their career, whatever, and it's very difficult. So I understand that they're going through emotional, physical, and financial challenges.
Yes, 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 they are. So, are there any other final thoughts you want to share with us on probate? I don't know if there's anything else in your notes that maybe we didn't cover.
No, I guess the only thing is to reiterate that they just did to make sure that everything is being done according to the law, and can't really go through any kind of short ways about it. It is what it is, and the only way a person can get out of not going through probate would be that there's a living trust set up before their loved one passes away.
Got it. Got it. I think you did a great presentation on that one,
Thank you.
and I can't thank you anymore for doing so. But tell me, 2025, crazy year in business, right? Crazy year. What do you think you're going to be doing differently in 2025 moving into 2026?
Well, it's challenging. In fact, I have a very expensive listing right now, and the owner can't understand why it can't be sold, but it's just that the whole market shifted. So, what I guess I've always been doing, and I tell this to people, I have someone I'm mentoring right now, is that I do everything. I go to networking, I go to breakfasts and luncheons and dinners, and I speak to people. I personally even joined the Bar Association as an affiliate to surround myself with legal people. And then I do everything. I send out mailers, I call on the phone, I send out postcards. I don't think there's any one thing a person can do. It's whatever they do that they feel is good for them. And
Right?
there's no
I get
shortcut.
that.
There's no shortcut to it. It's
Well, you
just
know what? I guess what you're telling me is you do what you do best. You keep in
I like
contact with people and you're all about educating yourself to be a more of an added value to your people, correct?
correct. Correct.
Okay. So you're mentoring somebody. That's something new I didn't know. So cheers to you on that one. What
Thank you.
advice are you giving this new mentee?
Mentee. Well, she's a little frustrated now because she's had her license for about 4 years and hasn't made a sale. And she worked at another brokerage. And and she thinks that there's some kind of shortcut. What could I be doing different? I said, there isn't. And I've been doing this for 20 years and raising two sons by myself. And I said, you just have to stick to it. And if you can't do that, then you need to get out and get a 9 to 5 job because it's really someone who has to put in a lot of work many, many hours, take phone calls, do this. And then there's most likely reward at the end, but it doesn't just come right away. It's not like going to a job and getting a paycheck at the end of the week.
Right?
It's a different,
Exactly.
it's different.
Exactly. I mean, but they got to work hard, but they got to ask for the business. They got to let people know they're in real estate.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody in real estate wakes up unemployed because if they're not doing their diligence in their job, asking for business and letting them people know that their points of difference, as you do every day, Linda, they're not going to succeed in this market, right?
Exactly. And I tell that to people. I used to work in Beverly Hills, and many, many people think they're going to go into real estate. They're going to get these multi-million-dollar listings. They're going to be, on easy street. It doesn't work that way. You may get one, but that one has to carry you for a long time. So,
Exactly, exactly. But you know what? I think a lot of people are really misled in real estate. They think if they get their license, business is going to come their way. They really got to go out and hunt for it. And I
exactly.
say that in a very politically correct way, is that you just have to let people know what you do and share with them, their points of difference, kind of like with you sharing with us today about, probate being such a really great thing that you specialize in, right?
Right. Can
So
I say one more
you,
thing about real estate, about probate?
yeah,
Probate is never affected by um, anything economical because we're all going
right,
to pass away at some point. So it doesn't affect. It's not about the recession or inflation. That's something that's always going to be there. Babies are born every day, and people pass
right.
away every day.
I am so glad you brought that up because if we would have cut this show off and it was over and you had that point, I would have been so mad at you. I would have said, Linda, how could you forget something important like that? So, who is your biggest mentor to you in real estate? Did you
Myself,
have any?
my no,
Yourself?
I never was in a team, and I would always worked by myself. And
Hmm.
I'm motivated for myself.
Yeah, well, that
I
goes
don't
without
I don't
that
need
goes without saying.
Well, I mean, there's some people that need, to say, okay, you got to show up, you got to do this, you got to do that, and I never liked having to be in a team where I felt like, just like in college, you have a team and one or two people do the work for everybody else. So I figure if I'm going to do the work, I want to gain the reward.
Right. I have a lot of mentors because I read a lot of books all the time on business leadership growth, like John Maxwell or Brian Tracy
Mm.
or Todd Duncan or I mean there's just so many of them and I'll probably forget a few. like Napoleon Dynamite. I mean, there's so many good mentors out there. I read and read and read and read, and I give my kids the advice all the time. If I read a book once, my goal is to read it a second time. My goal again is to read it a third time. If I liked it so much the first time, I guarantee there's stuff out there that I'm going to forget and I don't see and I don't know about. And I said, God, I forgot all about that. And I love that. But that's, I think, your quality, Linda. This is what I
Okay.
think you are. You're a person who's on a search for knowledge, right?
Correct.
You're
Correct.
out there saying, what do I need to know to share with my clients? What do I need to know to share with my sphere of influence? What do I need to know to share with my friends and my family and people on social media and people on Genius Thoughts on what they need to know about business? This is why you're so amazing at what you do.
Thank you. And I do agree because when I started out, what happened when I first got my license, I got in a bad accident, broke my arm, and I couldn't work. But I would take myself to the Board of Real Estate and take class after class after class. So when I started speaking to people, they thought I've been doing it for 20 years. They didn't realize I just got my license because I took every class I could because all I did was drive with my, broken arm to but that's what I'm saying is knowledge, it gives you wealth. That's the best thing. And I've met so many people over the course of my career that said, "Oh, I've been doing it 20 years." They never take classes, they don't go to staff meetings, they just think they know it all. And truly, every class I've ever gone to, I've always learned something.
Well, I
Some
think a lot of these people you're describing are very complacent in the business. You know what I mean?
and they think they can't learn anything, and it's not true, especially in real estate. The forms are changed all the time, laws change all the time. But I mean, I know every time I go to something, I pick up something new. Just like the other day, I was at the board, I met the county assessor, and he gave me his card. And we talked about town, they talked about town, there was legislators were there. So there's always something to be learned.
Oh, I totally agree with you. You know, Linda, I'm looking at our clock and we're almost out of
Okay.
time.
Okay.
But any final thoughts you want to share with our audience today?
No, I think I've covered just about everything. I just, it's just obviously when a person passed away and if their loved ones can get along, that's the best thing. It makes life to go so much simpler if the heirs can get along with each other, but it doesn't always work that way.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I thank you for that. And by the way, your kitchen looks amazing.
Well,
I
thank
hear
you.
you did it on your own.
Yes, not physically, but
Oh, okay.
I fired my contractor and I just did the design and I hired all the subcontractors, the tile person, the counters, the cabinets, and I did it the way I wanted to do it.
Because the other people were not Linda-minded. So you
Well,
found more Linda-minded people who thought the way you did, and you made it look beautiful. And cheers to you for that.
thank you.
Oh,
You can't
you're,
believe some of the suggestions some of them did. They said, take my refrigerator and put my refrigerator in my laundry room. Like, why would I do that?
well,
I said,
it's double.
beside me being a realtor, who goes in the laundry
What were
room?
you thinking? Right.
Well, I know what he's thinking, wants to knock out walls and make more money.
Oh,
That was his purpose. I go, no,
shame on him.
I
All
showed him
right.
I showed him the door.
God bless you. Linda Haim, thank you for being on Genius Thoughts today. I truly appreciate it. And promise me you're going to come back again.
Of course. Of course.
Awesome.
Just invite
Awesome.
me.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the incredible Linda Haim. Linda, thanks again for being on the program. Guys, I will see you soon and have a wonderful day.
Thank
Bye.
you too. Bye-bye.
Hey, it's the Mortgage Doc, and welcome back to the Mortgage Doc Spotlight brought to you by the exclusive Academy for Real Estate Professionals. Today, we're showcasing 6 unique listings from turnkey family homes and investment ready opportunities. And of course, we're giving well deserved credit to the agents making these happen. So let's get into it. Christina DeMarzo, we have a listing at 3315 Sandstone Court in Palmdale, California, 93551. I'm calling this the Loft and Lifted Views. This is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath. Living square feet on this one is 1,967 square feet. It is listed at 575,000. In West Palmdale's Rancho Vista, this home delivers the perfect mix of comfort, style, and zero HOA or Melrose. A fresh exterior, manicured landscaping, and a wide driveway set the tone for before you even step inside. You got soaring ceilings give the formal living and dining spaces an airy feel, while the updated kitchen shines with quartz counters, stainless steel appliances, and refreshed cabinetry. The primary suite boasts vaulted ceilings, dual sinks, and a separate tub and shower, plus valley views worth waking up to. With a loft for work or play, a bonus room for gym or bedroom, and a patio overlooking open vistas, this one's as versatile as it's inviting. Christina DeMarzo has this Palmdale beauty move-in ready for the next chapter. Beautiful listing. All right, we have John Paul Guzman. This is a listing at 900 East Denny Street, space 43 in Wilmington, California, 90744. This is the budget-friendly blank canvas. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Living square feet on this one is 589 square feet for a listing price of $72,500. Looking for affordability with room to make it your own? This cozy mobile home is ready for your vision. An additional office space, once a 3rd bedroom, offers extra flexibility for work, hobbies, or guests. The living and dining areas connect seamlessly, making the most of every square foot. The kitchen is ready for a custom touch. Design the layout, finishes, and appliances your way. With in-home laundry hookups and an outdoor area perfect for gardening or storage, this is a chance to build equity without breaking the bank. John Paul Guzman presents an accessible, adaptable entry into home ownership. Beautiful listing. All right. And we have Kathy Greenberg with a listing at 21190 Cimarron Way, Saugus, California, 91390. I'm calling this one the Entertainer's Retreat. It is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. Living square feet on this one is 3,031 square feet for a listing at $949,900. From the moment you enter, formal living and dining spaces set the stage for elegant hosting. The chef's kitchen is loaded with Geneius appliances, an island, and a walk-in pantry flowing into a welcoming family room. Upstairs, a spacious loft is perfect for a playroom or a home office, alongside 2 secondary bedrooms and a hall bath with dual sinks. The primary suite is a true escape. Soaking tub, a walk-in closet, dual vanities, and a private balcony with mountain views. Outside, a built-in barbecue island, lush landscaping, and RV parking make this property as functional as it is beautiful. Kathy Greenberg brings a Saga stunner built for both daily life and special occasions. Beautiful, beautiful. All right. John Ward, we have a listing at 44126 Lightwoods Ave in Lancaster, California, 93534. I'm calling this one the cul-de-sac comfort. It is a 3-bed, 2-bath. Living square feet on this one is 1,553 square feet for listing at 405,000. So fresh paint, updated floors, LED lighting, and ceiling fans throughout make this home an instant move-in ready. The covered entry and charming brick details set a warm first impression in this peaceful cul-de-sac. Inside, exposed rafters and a fireplace add cozy character to the living spaces. The fully fenced yard is ready for barbecues, gardens, or quiet stargazing nights. With a 2-car garage, extra driveway space, and close proximity to schools, parks, and shopping, this is an easy living in the AV. John Ward has a Lancaster gem ready for its next owner. All right. And we have Craig Martin with a listing at 28217 Neild Court in Saugus, California, 91350. This is, I'm calling the multi-gen marvel. It is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath. Living square feet on this one is 3,466 square feet for a listing at $1,049,800. This home blends open concept living with smart, flexible spaces for every stage of life. The kitchen, complete with center island, walk-in pantry, and stainless steel appliances, is made for gathering. A main level suite with living room, kitchenette, bedroom, and laundry hookups is ideal for in-laws or guests. Upstairs, a loft joins 3 additional bedrooms, giving everyone space to spread out. The backyard features a covered patio with fireplace, creating an outdoor living room you can use year-round. Craig Martin delivers style, space, and versatility in one stunning Saugus package. Beautiful, beautiful listing. And that's a wrap on this week's Mortgage Doc Spotlight, where homes and investments get the storytelling they deserve. Big thanks to the agents making these deals happen and to you for tuning in. Join us next week for standout listings, market ready opportunities, and insider insights. Until then, I'm the Mortgage Doc, signing off from the exclusive Academy for Real Estate Professionals.